London 2023. During the inventory in Scotland Yard archives, an unclaimed parcel dated 1914 was discovered. Upon unwrapping, an object resembling a camera was revealed. However, the camera contained enigmatic symbols and locks instead of the common mechanism. The following note was enclosed. Dear detectives, over all these years I have been investigating the most mysterious cases. Now it is time for me to retire, so I decided to entrust my life's work to one of you, to the most talented and capable detective. I am leaving you this creation of my own, a camera with an encrypted mechanism. Open the camera and discover the identity of my successor. Sincerely yours, S.H. So, this is a Sherlock's camera, a very cool puzzle from iDVenture. It came out last year. I've not had a chance to look at it yet, but join me and we will try and solve it today. Okay, so this thing, as you can see, super intricate. It's made of acrylic and wood. We've got some marbles in here as well, and there is all sorts of moving parts to this. So there is dials on the back here. You can spin this around. This piece at the front moves, the lens, bits on the top. So I think I'm going to need a couple of things to get started with this. First is going to be a coffee, and the second, I'm going to get myself a notebook and a pencil because I feel like I'm going to need to keep track of certain things during the solve of this. It also comes with this little bit. It says, not a puzzle. This is a stand. I don't know if this has got any clues in it or not, but I'm just going to put it to one side for now because I think it is just a stand to hold the camera on when you've solved it. But first up, we need to find out how to actually start this puzzle. So there's pieces here that turn on the back. We're turning all these different dials and it looks like it is a series of cogs that turns one and then the other. So sometimes with these puzzle boxes, they give you a clue as to where the first bit is to start. And I'm just having a look here to see if I can figure out where we might start. So, okay, we've got a switch here that is the on-off switch. It's set to off at the moment. And I guess maybe the goal of this is to try and set this to on. But if we follow this little arrow here, it takes us to this, which looks like an old-fashioned movie camera. And then what are we going to do? There is just so many moving parts and components on this one. What have we got here? Oh, okay, I've got an arrow that moves here, so we can push this down, and in the viewfinder I then see a flower, and it looks like there's a gap here that possibly you could put a piece into at some point. We need to obviously find that piece first. Dial on the top here that twists. We can set it to your style of tie. You can have the regular tie or the cravat, bowler or a top hat. Light here. This one looks like it could move at some point. Not now. 7. So as part of this is going to be spotting clues and then referring back to them at a later point. Now I can see here the movie camera again. So there's some magnets on this piece and I'm not entirely sure what the purpose of those is, although there's also some marbles. You can see there's some clock hands here that I can swing, but I don't seem to be able to do anything beyond swinging them. This piece here, it's got a little arrow on the side. It looks like you want to pull that out at some point. So I think we want to follow the arrows really with this one, but at the moment, just struggling to find this first step really. You can see all these pieces here give a bit of a clue. So this one looks like the hands of the clock on the front here. So maybe this is telling us what time we need to set it to. Okay, here we go. I have found start. So start is here. So we need to twist this marble around and it's got 4 marbles stuck up in here. So in order to get those marbles out, what we probably need to do is give it a spin and allow them to drop down, or are they just stuck in place? Spin, and we've dropped it down. So I'll try and show you this. This little piece here has dropped down into there, which means we can now, what does it mean? Move this across. Okay, so we can move this across. Well, it looks like we're actually going to get a piece out. So here's our first tool. This is a little magnet piece and we've got our clock here. It looks like the arm of the clock is here. So you can see there's the Roman numerals here and we probably need to match them up so that they read true. So, and we've got our magnet. So what do we do with this? Do we use it at this point? There is magnets inside here, as I noticed. I think the clock is the next key. So I think we need to do something here with the clock. And I'm guessing that dial on the top is going to give us the time that we need to set it to. And once probably we've set it to the time, then maybe we can move this piece here. So we can have it here. So I'm just spinning it around and trying to make some of these Roman numerals actually match up. And I can get one pair to match up, but if I do one pair, then it just doesn't seem to match with any of the other ones. So I don't know how you would land on the correct solution here. Okay, so I've just actually noticed some dials through this gap here, through this window. When I spin it around, I hadn't noticed this before, but you can see that there's these arrows on the hands and it matches up with the piece on the top here, which looks like these arrows. So do we need to match it up to the arrowhead here? So the arrowhead is kind of straight edged, and then we come down and it's got this more curvy piece to it and a circle at the bottom. So I'm going to look and see if I can match it to any of these ones here. We've got two kind of, we've got two different hands. So we've got the hour hand and the minute hand here. So I'll try just the angular arrow. So this one here, then maybe that's gonna, maybe it has to be set to the correct time as well on the clock hands. Curly hand, okay. Right, curly hand is the arrow hand and the other one is the minute hand. So curly hand set to 2, because that's the only one that's right at that point. And then let's set it to the minute hand, so it's a slight kind of diamond shape to it, so see if I can find that one. Okay, I'm having a bit of difficulty here, so I feel like this solution is correct. I just can't figure out how to get it to that point, or how to read it. So none of these will actually fit within what we've got, so there must be something else to it. So maybe what we need to do is set these to the opposite of these, so the other way. So the arrow would be pointing at these numbers, and the end of the hands would be pointing the opposite face, of course. So okay, so if the arrow is pointing at 11, the long hand is going to be pointing at 5. The shorter hand is pointing at 2, and then we're going to be pointing at 8. Okay, so this feels good. So we'll set to 8, and what did I say? 5. This is going to be tricky getting these into the correct position, but I don't know if there's a better way of doing this. That one's quite good. This one, I don't know how oh, okay. There, right. Still nothing. Oh, okay, no, we've got movement. There we go. Right, this has come out. Now what can we do? So this piece here has come out a little way. It's not come fully out. I don't know if that... So it looks like this piece has moved in, and now we can... It's got an eye here. So there's an eye, and it tells us to look down that way. And what I can see at the end is a diamond that looks like this. And is that... I don't know if you'll be able to see the internals here, but there's a mirror, which I guess is hidden just in the back of here. So I'm staring at myself when I look in here, and it's like one of those infinity tunnels. I can just see. So this dial here flips a little mirror in the back. So I twist this dial, and there's a mirror in the back there. And if I flip it, I can see a gun. But where do we go from here? Does it give us a clue? So this piece seems to be locking out a little bit. I'm not sure. It seems to have an arrow saying push in, right? And this one's got an eye on it. Or maybe we can just tip that piece out, right? There we go. Now we've got a little rake with this symbol on it. So we've got an eye, and we've got this, I'm gonna call it a flower. It looks a little bit like a football or a soccer ball. So let's have a look for that around here. And I think I saw it in here. So if we pull down this, which feels a little bit like a shutter or something on the camera, I can now see that flower. Then I can use this tool in here, and that allows me to manipulate this dial on the top, which allows me to choose, I guess it's maybe facial hair, a moustache, or a beard. So I can change it to one or the other. And I guess what probably we're going to need to do is figure out which one of these So we're gonna probably have to figure out which one we want each of these dials set to, and then maybe once we've got all of them correct, then something will open. But where do we go from here? Maybe if we look for the diamond, or we're obviously gonna have to work through this section here, and this kind of looks like might be where you open it. I was just having a look around, see if there's any other clues. We've obviously got the lens here, and that kind of feels like it's going to be the end step, probably going to be the last step or something like that, and I've not actually noticed any of these symbols yet at this point. So just trying to figure out now what the next step is. And I guess we've got this arrow here. I still don't know why the magnets are on this piece. So we've got the facial hair, and the only other place I think I saw the facial hair. So here we've got 4 characters, it looks like, and you can see they've got different hats. So we've got no hats, we've got top hat, bowler hat, different kinds of facial hair. So we've got a beard and a moustache, and different kinds of ties, so a tie and a cravat. And this piece moves around all over the place. We can also spin it to change these. Oh, there's a diamond. Okay. To have a look and see. Okay, you just put it into the corner that you want to turn, and you can turn it. So there's a diamond on this one. And there is a diamond on that one, diamond there, and a diamond on there. I don't really know what that's gonna lead to. So this is the only piece that we can kind of manipulate at the moment. I'm not sure at all how far through we might be. So the solution time for this one was estimated at 60 to 90 minutes, and I'm pretty sure I am going to be taking longer than that. I generally do not solve puzzles particularly quickly. There's a gap in here. Do we take something out of there? Can't remember. Definitely looks like there's a gap here for something to go into. And we've still got one extra tool that we could maybe use somewhere, but we just need to figure out where. That diamond must be important. And then maybe I need to have a look and see if I put this tool back in and change that cog. So I'll put it in this side. I'll change the cog and I'll see if anything changes within the puzzle. Okay, yes it does. So when I move this, depending on whether I've got it to the beard or the moustache, so on the beard setting, I'm going to use my artistic abilities here, I can see the revolver. So let's just crudely draw that. And then if I spin it to the other side and I have the moustache, then I can see a bag of money. Definitely has to be a certain clue. And then if I take all this away, what do I see as default? I can see the money as default. And now the diamond has disappeared. I don't know how I get that back. Was that part of this one, I think? Okay, so I can set this one as well, so I can spin this one around. So this looks like it's the next clue. So we can have cravat, and cravat is diamond. Okay, so bowler hat is, got to do it with one eye closed. Looks like a bomb, so I'll draw that one. And let's put it back to the top hat. And top hat is the money bag again. So now we've got a symbol for almost everyone. I just wonder if I change this one again, if it might be different if I set this. I'm just going to try the hair one again, so the moustache and things. So if I try and change that to the beard, pistol. So I'm not getting anything now for the moustache. So I'm just going to put a question mark there. So it seems to depend on how I have the other ones lined up as to what shows in the viewer for the next bit. So I guess what we need to do is work out here what everybody has. I'm just having a look at this face and trying to figure out what we need to do. So looking at these characters on here, the one thing I've noticed is each one seems to have an individual characteristic that's unique to them. So this is the only cravat wearing person, the only bowler hat wearing person, the only top hat wearing person, the only bearded person. So maybe we use those characteristics and set the wheel to their particular setting. So the only person wearing a top hat, the top hat we want the money bag, so I'll set that to the money bag. The cravat, did we have a good diamond we want for cravat wearer? The beard was the revolver, set to revolver, and then this person is the bowler hat wearer, which we had the bomb. So nothing's pulling out. Oh, yes it is. Okay. There we go. So we managed to remove this piece, so that was correct, it looks like. And now we have an internal mechanism here. And I'm looking at what looks like an aperture. You can see in here, and there's an arrow that points down to it. This whole thing is just kind of coming apart. Okay, is there anything on the other side of this? But we did have these other symbols on the front here as well, and I wonder if they mean anything. I'm having a look on here, and you can see that there's arrows, directional arrows for each of these symbols, but these symbols I've not come across before, so I don't know if we need to find those somewhere. We do have these circles here, which look like they relate to the bottom piece, but I've not really got to this stage yet, I don't think. So again, let's have a look in here. The aperture with the cogwheel kind of looks like the front here. Just don't know if we're ready for that stage yet. It doesn't really look like it. There is an arrow in here. Have we got a piece that we can use? Because I don't think you'd be able to see that arrow until you open this up. So this arrow here, if I push it, hang on. So it feels like it's doing something. Just what it's doing, I don't know. Oh, okay. So inside here, you can see there is the same image of the aperture or the cog. So if I have this button pushed in, then rotate this, now we have the camera saying on. I thought it said no at first, but now we can switch it to on. Okay, yes, progress. So our camera is now on, but where do we go from here? On, down to here. That's our, the piece here that we could see with the video camera. Now they've got a little circle here, and I think I've seen that circle somewhere else here. So I feel like we need a piece to put in there that we haven't found. We've switched this on. I feel like perhaps this has been done in the wrong order. There's a cog here. There's also this cool image. I don't know if you'll be able to see it. It looks like one of those, I'm not sure exactly how to pronounce it, the moi images. And it's got some people looking like they're just kind of skipping around or doing cartwheels or something. I'm not sure if that's a clue or not. So this camera and this circle definitely appear at the same place up here, circle and camera. So we just need to work out what we, oh, okay. Oh, maybe. I think I need to figure out how to get this piece out, and then this piece will maybe go into the side here. You can see I can't pull this piece out because it's hooked onto this latch. So I need to work out how to get this bottom piece to stay down to allow me to, I think I would just slide this entire piece out, and then I think that's going to be useful for the next step. I just need to work out how to get that piece to stay down. So push it there, and then this magnet just doesn't feel strong enough to actually... Do you know what this piece is for? I've just discovered, I think. When I needed to move these hands, when we were struggling to position them before, yeah, because look, this piece here has got these serrated teeth, and that would definitely help you to turn this cog here, and then I guess that's going to, I guess that will allow this actually to move maybe. Okay, I've just noticed there's also this arrow here, look, in this piece, which we've got. It's come off, okay. What are we going to do with that? Could that be used in here somehow? Oh, that's, okay. That just seemed to unlock this entire bottom portion here. Maybe we'll use it on this side as well. There we go, okay. So it seemed like it was a little lever. I had to pull it rather than try and just twist it. So we've got a ring here, got lots of holes on it. Possibly that's going to lead us to, oh, okay, and we can twist this dial around. This has got lots of X's on it, and then we've got these people, and they look like the people that I saw on this side here. Unless I'm going about this all the wrong way, but I do feel like this is the right step. And then once we've got this piece out, we can move on to the camera, and then from there, it will give us a clue to the bottom here, and I reckon we're just almost in. We've still got to figure this out though, don't we? Not figured this out, and these symbols I've not seen anywhere else, so I've no idea. No. So I'm trying to do something that's going to stop this bottom lever here from flicking up, and I thought if I could get this dial all the way around, that would do it, but maybe if they're both in that position, no. Ah, got it. Okay, I think. So we've got the arrow here and it's got the little flame here. So I was wondering, should we just hit it really fast, get it to go there really fast? And if you do that, it doesn't work. We have it out at last. Just push very fast is the solution. Right, okay. Now, let's see. We turn it to on. I'm going to use the tool. I'm going to put it in here and find out I've been completely wrong all the time. No. Okay, so we can do that and we create a little moving picture with these people. Okay, I can actually, what are we doing here? So I can pull this in and out, and what happens is you get this little moving picture here. It's like the moi imagery. I don't know if we come back again, we just kind of make the people dance a little bit, but what do we want to happen? Oh, it's coming out a bit further. So looking here, we can make the people kind of move, dance a little bit. I guess that's the video section of it, the movie camera. And then the people here, we've got different positions of them. And I guess this is maybe the base. So we've got some upside down people, some standing people, and what have we got to do? Okay, so we've got up here, I've just noticed we've got the kind of intercrossing lines, and down this side we've got the more straight zigzag lines. So here we've got the overlapping lines, so I guess we use that as our, that's the top, this is the top here. So that gives us our orientation on it, and then it's a case of working out what point is the correct point. So I don't know how you, okay. The little people come out, right. So I don't know if that bit, it seems to have been set in the right position anyway, but we can take the people out, and underneath we've got footsteps. So let's just take these all out and see what we've got. I guess we can, so we can create ourselves a code by lining the people up. We need a starting point though. So maybe this, okay, hang on. So maybe the feet and the hands are what is on the ground or what is in the air. Let's try it on the ground because the straight lines is the ground. So we'd still need a starting point. I don't have a starting point, but the order would be 2 feet on the ground. So it could be either of these two, I suppose. Or this, any of these three. How do you know which one that is? No, I've gone off this idea. I don't like it anymore. 2 hands on the ground. So I think I've got the order right based on what they are at the top, and the pieces show the top, so that makes sense. But then when we're looking at the bottom, it shows the bottom, and I'm just seeing that sometimes the people are in slightly different poses as they hit the bottom. So this first one, he's definitely got 2 feet on the ground. Then the second one, it looks like a head and 2 hands. So it looks like this one, which makes sense, 2 feet, head, 2 hands. Then the next one as he comes down, looks like he has 1 foot, which is over here. Okay, so maybe the order doesn't really have to do with anything, and maybe what we need to do is just put the pieces in based on we find out which piece is the first, second, third, fourth, and then we fit it into the puzzle box here based on what they are as they hit the bottom. And then this final one is hitting with just 2 hands, which is the only one we've got left, right? This feels like it must be right. Okay, we'll put it in, and it's come out. Amazing. Right, we got there. So inside here, what have we got? Still got this piece. We've not actually solved that part of the puzzle yet. This circles with the holes, the circles with the crosses. We've got to this next stage. I don't know how far we've got to go on this one. It feels like it must be quite nearly there. We've covered most of the bases here on the puzzle, but so I feel like the only last piece here is the lens. We've got this piece that's going to come out the side. That could be the locking piece goes through it, I'm not sure. And the other piece that we need to try and extract is the one over on this side with these circles and the lines on it. So it does look like that's going to be blocked at the top by this acrylic, so I'm not entirely sure how it's going to come out. And we've got these X's here and the lines. So in total, if we put this all together, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lines. And on here we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lines. So it starts here, I guess. Okay, I've taken a bit of a break, refueled with the coffee, and I'm still thinking this is the way to go with these X's and these discs. So I'm just going to write it down and try and keep a bit more of a coherent record for myself. Is the next one, okay, no, that's not quite right. So this wants to be here and here. Have we got something that happens now? Oh, something happened. Pull that up. Okay, have we solved it? No, we seem to have the lens out. There is the inside of the puzzle box, and it looks like we have one final step possibly to solve and crack this case. So we are getting close. Nearly 2 cups of coffee down. And we've got a dial on this side, so we can twist this around. There's some pieces that this doesn't actually twist. So this looks like it wants to twist. We've got those directional arrows again, which we saw on here. A magnifying glass with a thumbprint or a fingerprint or something. There's a little black cylinder inside this. These pieces, kind of push them to the outside. Push these to the outside, but I don't know what that... Then we can twist this. And then there's a gap there, and then I can push those inside, take this out, okay. Oh, I think we've done it. I think this is solved. I'm not 100% sure. I now feel like I can get this camera reel, so it feels like a bit of film or something, just on the inside here. And I don't know if I should just pull this or not. It feels like I can't quite get to it. Definitely feels like it's gonna... Okay, here we go. Oh, whole thing just pops out, and I've got some thumbprints. Okay, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 thumbprints. We've obviously got our thumbprint on the top here, so we're having a look for this shape. And I was fascinated when I first discovered that everybody had completely different thumbprints. And this looks to me quite a sharp, it looks like contour lines of a map, doesn't it? I've just got to decide which of these matches the fingerprints, I guess. So I think this one here certainly looks like it's the circles. Then we've got the wavy lines, which I think could be this one, could also be this one here. Gotta go with this one. Then we've got the yin yang, which feels like this one, the swirls in opposite directions, so I think that's right. And then 4 looks more like the hilly contours, and that's the one I'm struggling with. I don't know which one that might be. Could be this one here. Let's just have a look at that again. It is fairly triangular. This one's obviously got those sharp edges. So I think I'm going to opt for that one for number 4. Okay, just try going from one to the other. So we'll start on the circles. Let's go to wavy lines. So we're going this way. It feels very sticky. I don't know if it's like because something's happening inside there or if it's just the materials here, but it is a little bit glitchy. So let's go to there, and then we're going to go back to number 3, which is over here, and then 4 here. Nothing. I feel like 1, 2, and 3 are definitely right. So let's just try one more time. 1 to 2. Then it's giving us the arrow back to 3 here. And now I just need to decide which one 4 is, I think. Try this one again. That's it. It's worked. inside, have a look. We've got the solution to the original question was Holmes' successor, and inside you can see we've got best detective. How cute. And a little mirror so you can see who the best detective is. Very cool. Well, I think that probably took me longer than the 60 to 90 estimated minutes. I think it was probably more like 2 hours, but it was really good fun. There was no single step that was completely impossible, too difficult to solve. All of them were manageable, and it was really fun working my way through it. As always, if you want to check this out further, I'll leave a link down below. Hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks very much for sticking with me, and I'll see you next time.